We're live there. Right. We're live on Facebook right there. Let me adjust that. I might just do it this way. I'm gonna go this way. So we're live on Facebook. Tell everybody what we got going on.
I guess we're answering questions tonight. Aaron had some people ask questions on it, so we'll figure that one out. I did write them down.
So if I'm in everybody's way, I'm sorry. All right, so this is our live chat. Right here. Let me mute this. Okay, so all your questions that you're going to have are going to be right there for Facebook. This is YouTube. So we're trying to create a production studio tonight. All right. So right in front of us is YouTube. Right to our left is Facebook. We are live in the Fondue Bama bar.
Oh, that's it.
And scoot up just a little bit.
We got a delay there, it looks like.
So we are delayed just a little bit on the screen that you're going to be watching to the right. So if you do comment, just know it's going to be a little bit laggy because we're trying to figure out how to do this. First time going live with all the different gadgets. So this is YouTube right in front of us, and we are on Facebook to the left. So you're going to have to look to this side once in a while. Let me fix that for everybody to make it easier. Mm-hmm.
That's Mo better. That's what we say in the hood, Mo better.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Sorry for the...
John Boyson says hi from Black Wolf. Hi, Johnny Ray. Oh, Jordan Ray's on.
Scoot back a little bit.
I got to go back.
Oh, no. Let's try that. All right. You're going to have to scoot back.
Okay. There.
All right. There. We have a little bit better setup. We got TikTok right there, Facebook right there. We wanted to go live on multiple platforms just for fun to see how this works. We got YouTube Coot's Lure channel on behind us. We asked a bunch of questions recently, a couple days ago. I think you have some of
yep. So I'll just go through the list here. Story of the biggest fish, favorite lures, talk about water levels, snap weights versus cranks and harnesses, best way to fish reefs. I better get my glasses on.
All right. So in the meantime, I'm going to read. Dwayne Nelson said, "Hey, Williams boys." On TikTok, we got Zach Went saying, "What's up?" Drake Schubert said, "What's up?" So tonight is all about Q&A, question answer. So let's make this fun. Get us engaged. What's the first? Let me ask.
All right. First question is the biggest fish story. Jeff Kieran asked, what is the biggest fish story that Coot has caught? Well, I'm going to start out with my muskie that I caught with my dad. October 25th, 1985. We're fishing the Fox River out by the 41 bridge. The day before, I was getting some 3 to 5 pound walleyes, so I wanted to get my dad involved in catching some of those fish. So we went out there the next day, and it was blowing terrible. It was really bad. I was actually fishing the northwest side corner of the bridge for the walleyes. We actually had to go and adjust because we only had a 14-foot boat at the time. We went to the southeast corner of the 41 bridge, and we were jigging quarter-ounce jigs with stingers and minnows. And then I set the hook on something. I thought I had a sturgeon, so I just started horsing it up. And lo and behold, it became a 34-pound, 49-inch muskie in that Butamore Bridge area. We had a broken net. My dad had to I used half the net, and he grabbed the tail, and we flopped it in the boat. Didn't know if muskie season was open. Went into Rainbow Bait and Tackle. At the time, Charlie was working there. He's passed now, but he says, yeah, the season's still open in November sometime. So that was my biggest fish ever. I didn't know we didn't have replicas back then, so I did get it mounted. It's hanging in Where the hell do I got it hanging now? I forgot.
The muskie?
Yeah. Oh, it's in my barn. So that one's in my barn. But
I thought Castle had it for a little bit.
Yeah, Bob Castle had it down at his store. But I would have to go. The next order would have been a 45-pound tuna. We caught out in the Gulf of Mexico. We were 90 miles off the shore. It was a 2-day trip. We had 11 people on the boat. We ended up catching 1,300 pounds of fish. Caught 23 tunas. Mine was about the second biggest, and we were actually catching them on 6-ounce jig spoons. We dropped the spoon down, and you count to 15 Mississippi, and you just start snap jigging like this up. And when that fish hits, it just, boom, your pole hits the gunnel of the boat, and it was pretty awesome. We had first tuna on board. They start cutting it up, and they're serving it as sushi, pretty much. As well, they're pickled, right? Get it? Saltwater fish. So the next one I would have to say would be the 8-foot bull shark I caught down in Keith Cavallas, and also a black tip shark about 7 foot caught with Keith Cavallas. So we will be heading down there in next week for that.
All right, we got questions. So again, facing this way is Facebook, right, and directly in front of us is YouTube, and we got TikTok Live. So we got 3 platforms. I added one last minute. So a couple of questions. We'll get to a couple of more that we got earlier in the week. We got Ryan Anderson said, when you boys come in Nebraska?
Yeah, I would love to go goose hunting with you over there. That sounds like it'd be some fun. I love goose gizzards, by the way.
Before we do that, let me answer some of these. Justin Holt said, we're testing out the new bar. This is the Fondue Bama bar built by my best friend, Gianni Ray. So we got all the gadgets in front of us. This is the basement we've been working on for quite a while. All right. So Josh Holt says, hi. Whit, say, hey, Josh.
Hi, Josh.
Whit says hi from Oshkosh. Devin Metz, Coot, and Aaron. And Brett Wentz said, hey, guys. Tactical Anger. Justin Miller, check him out. Follow him. He said, hey, guys. On TikTok, we got a question from Drake. All right, this is a good question. All right, how much will the early warm weather change walleye spawn?
Well, 2 things with walleye spawning. It's the sun daylight that'll determine when the fish spawn, also with water temp. So with the ice being gone, the water's going to heat up quick, but it's still going to need the sunlight duration of the day that actually triggers these fish. They could start maybe a week or 2 early, possibly, but Mother Nature has control of that. I heard the Wolf River is really down with water. We have no snow up north. I have no idea what we're going to fill this lake up with, but unless we get a lot of rains, and if you get a lot of rains, that's going to be a lot of muddy water. So it's tough fishing in mud water, that's for sure. Good question. Thanks.
A YouTube question from Connor Carey. I think this is on your docket tonight. What is your opinion on them wanting to cancel sturgeon spearing season?
It would be a bad thing to cancel sturgeon spearing. The economical impact in this area is like $300 million. There's a lot of money to be gained by having sturgeon spearing here. I know personally the DNR people that I was involved with doing the sauger hatchery, and these guys, they love the fish. They love what they did. They're both retired now. And when I found out either one of them are not on that sturgeon board. So when I hear they're not on that board to recommend or whatever experience they can tell these people, to me, that's a red flag. So in my opinion, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think they're going to have sturgeon spearing. Once we get this fish, the sturgeon, on the Endangered Species Act, you'll never get it off. It's just like the wolf right now. The wolf is on the endangered species, and you can't get that off. And it sounds like the upper north, Wisconsin, is getting decimated by wolves. There's hardly any deer up there anymore. So I guess as a conservationist and outdoor enthusiast, we as a people need to start voicing our opinions a lot more. We need to get the right people in the right positions to help everyone. I just want people in there working for us. That's what we need to do. If we can do that, I think we can work through things, work through all the logistics. There's a lot of different options. Like we could do a lottery. Say there's only like 1,000 tags given out. Everybody puts in for the lottery, and that's it. 1,000 fish. That's all we can do. We could up the size limit possibly, but like I said, there's a lot of things that we could ask and hope for if we all band together and start working together to preserve this. I got Aaron involved. We still haven't seen a sturgeon swim through our hole. Hopefully someday we will. I hear all these good stories, like my good friend Steve Klein. He goes out there on a Sunday, sits for 2 hours, and he gets a sturgeon. And I've been going for 5 years, and he's been for like 4 years. Yeah, it's just where you get your placement of where your shanty is. But it's ironic that some guys I heard were up at the High Cliff boat launch or that marina, and there was 4 fish taken out of that marina. Whoever would have thought of going in that marina? But I think they went in there because they had safe ice. They were good to go there, and I don't know if they're using cameras or underwater stuff. So, but that's my take on the sturgeon spearing.
All right, couple more comments now. Josh Holtz said it'd be horrible, and then he said hopefully Wisconsin can be exempt. They keep spearing in Wisconsin and Michigan. Harold Monday said, have you started to charge for autographs yet?
No.
Right.
I do not consider myself a celebrity, trust me.
Right.
I'm just a guy who likes to fish, and if I can help you catch fish or, explain stuff to you, that's more fun. That's all I can say. All
right. Devin Metz, favorite presentation actually, before I get to Devin Metz, I'll come back to you, Devin. I forgot where I saw that. I think it was somebody asked, what is your favorite speed, I think, for pulling the kill zone, since you have it here?
Yeah, I brought the kill zone. I can set it up on a rod that we have here. It all depends on what I am pulling on the kill zone. I pull flies, slow death, crankbaits, all that kind of stuff.
Hold it just a hair higher.
I will. I'm going to slide this down so you can see the whole thing.
First time fishing in the basement here.
So the kill zone is a 2-piece plastic. It's actually a no-knot 3-way rig system, which you can adjust the height to being off a bottom, which is nice. I actually call this like a mini downrigger for me, because when I troll open water, if I got 4 people in a boat, I will be pulling 8 boards, 4 on each side. Then I run 4 kill zones, 2 on each side. In the front of the boat, I'll run a 4-ounce pencil weight. And in the back of the boat, I'll pull a 2-ounce pencil weight, depending on how I'm presenting my lures. Most of the time, it's going to be cranks. And with the kill zone, I will put on non-diving baits on the kill zone, because they're going to be underneath the boat and all that kind of good stuff. I've heard people, you can use these on boards too if you want. But like I said, it's a 2-piece plastic system. And I always use a 5-foot fluorocarbon leader of 12-pound test. This rod is rigged up with 30-pound braid. It's very strong. So what you want to hopefully do, if you get snagged up, all you're going to do is lose your lure. You're not going to lose this whole system. So that's why you go with a little bit lighter weight leader there. I like using pencil sinkers. Pencil sinkers do not really get stuck in the bottom. This is a 1-ouncer. I'll use 2-ounce when I pull flies or slow death. Then if I'm in the boat, like I said, open water trolling, there'll be a 4-ounce up front and a 2-ounce in the back. So this is the kill zone system, and I do have one out here. You can take that.
All right, he's going to be on the Lead Chronicles next?
Probably. So what you just heard me, I just pulled apart the 2-piece system here. That's the main body. Your main line goes through there, comes through. Then this is what's going to capture it. It has a little slot in there.
So Facebook too, show that.
Okay.
Facebook.
That little slot right there, that's going to capture your line. And then, got to turn around here. So you got the line coming through, and now you're going to capture that line in that slot, and you're going to push and listen for a click. There it is. Now it's locked in. So you have to kind of unlock it, and that way you can adjust and slide up and down on it also.
Here too. Just show that you just lift up right there.
All right. There's the little slot. That's going to capture a line. The main line is going to go in and down here, and you're going to put it in so like this and click it like that, and it's locked in.
Boom. All right.
So on this little open area, that's where I'm going to run my biggest snap swivel. I'm going to grab it one more time. I kind of exaggerate and go overboard with the snap barrel swivel here. I like it because then you know you're not going to have any twists or turns in the line then. Let's see, which way am I going here? There it is right there. My big old barrel snap swivel there. So that is the kill zone.
Show the packages of the different sizes.
There's only one size. This is the mini kill zone that I use. There's 5 kill zones per pack. And they're $6. You got to get a hold of Mikey Schultz. He's in Marinette, Wisconsin. They're actually made in Marinette, Wisconsin. So it's actually made in the USA, which is very cool. Mikey Schultz. He is a veteran of the Coast Guard. Super nice guy. Him and I were down in Madison this past weekend, sharing the booth. We sold a lot of Coot's lures and a lot of kill zones down there. So if you have any more questions, we'll try to answer for you on the kill zone.
Here, you can see YouTube now. Right behind us. There we are.
Hi, Mom.
We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 devices with different stuff going on. All right, let's get to some questions. We'll get back to your list. Devin just said the favorite presentation for casting trolling for walleyes in the North country. Gary Coleman, enjoy watching you guys. You two have a great connection. Willie May says, hi, pumpkin.
Hi, pumpkin. Oh, okay. Thanks, pal.
All right. Lance McHugh says, touchy subject of the Winnebago system. I think he's referring to the sturgeon.
No, he's talking about the walleye.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a question on the list, I believe, right?
Right, yeah.
So the DNR, just for people that don't know this area, kind of tell them.
Well, we do have a limit of 3. I don't know if they're going to go to a slot size system with the walleyes, but to shut down the run in the Fox River and the Wolf River, I don't know if that would happen because of the economical impact again. These people rely on people going for the run, walleyes and white bass run. Some of the stories I hear about, well, if you're going to take our walleyes in April, then you shouldn't be taking our walleyes in June and July out in the main lake when these fish flush all the way down south. So I don't know where that's going to go. You got both sides to try to make everybody happy. You never do, but there's got to be some type of an agreement where, you know, we need to protect our resources and all that kind of stuff. I personally don't keep any fish from Green Bay or Winnebago anymore. I have enough walleyes when I catch them in Lake Erie. I try to watch what I catch over there also. Everybody chastises me for keeping all the walleyes that we did catch that one year. But the DNR keeps telling us they need those fish out of that lake because they're like piranhas. They eat everything. There are so many fish over there. That's why the limit is 6. And they're talking about upping it to 8. I couldn't imagine having 32 walleyes in my live well if I got 4 people in the boat. So. But, okay, next question.
Well, this one's more humorous. Josh Holtz, do you guys ever argue in the boat?
Him and I? We don't talk. It's to sit down, shut up, and fish. You know, what can you do?
No. Not really. We haven't really lost any fish to really argue about.
No.
All right, Bobby Marine, he's tapping in.
Hi, Bobby.
Do you think the walleyes will spawn with this little water this year?
Well, I can actually tell you for a fact that I know walleye spawn in Lake Winnebago because I've caught them in April on Point Comfort. I have 2 good friends that live out there, and that's where I usually do the dock fishing. We're only in 3 feet of water, and you can tell these females have spawned right there because their tails are really red and beat up. They're pretty skinny. But like I said, we need some rain this year to actually bring up the water levels. We don't have any snow unless we get one hell of a dumping of snow here.
All right. Thomas Reitman asked.
Oh, look at Custer's Leon's. Yeah, you betcha, Devin. I had that last night. It was awesome. Pistachio nut. Yum.
Thomas said, when is Coot coming out with his walleye jigging rod?
Nope, not doing it.
He loves the trolling rod, though.
My trolling rod is my forte, I guess. As much as I like to have my own jig rod, there's just too many companies making jig rods out there. But I can tell you, I am a Vexen jig rod guy. They make a 6'8", a 7-foot, 7'2", and 7'4". All 4 sizes work great. I use it as my main line for jigging, casting, pulling flies, pulling slow death. It is an all-around jig rod for me. They're medium action with a fast tip.
All right, YouTube, we got Jordan Williams. My wife says, "Heyo," and then went outdoors. Said all these angles to watch you guys.
There's a lot of angle right here. Look out! I can't help it.
All right, let's go back to some of the questions that we asked earlier in the week. Favorite lures that you have from Matt Stone?
Well, the favorite lures all depends on the time of year and where I'm fishing. So let's start with Lake Erie. My top baits are pretty much bandits. This year it might be the new hit stick, deep hit sticks that Berkeley came out with. My good friend Keith Cavias has showed me a couple tips on those deep hit sticks he's been using the last couple years. He's been holding back on me, by the way. Next ones would probably be P10s, Husky Jerks, number 13 Rapala floaters. It's going to be all depending on the weather out there, which I'm going to say it might warm up quicker than we want. I might have to go to a harness or my favorite flutter spoon slow death. I love doing that one too. So since Aaron's got me on this kick of doing live stuff, I started Lead Chronicles. I've showed how to pour pyramid jigs that we'll be using down in Florida on the surf fishing and also out in the deep water with Keith. Today we poured egg sinkers, which are kind of like a Lindy rig setup. We poured a bunch of them for Keith. He uses them also in the Gulf there. So I'll probably get into paddle jigs or river jigs, and we'll do some round jigs and some other types of jigs we'll pour also. Then I'll show how I powder paint my jigs. Then I'll get into how we pull slow death, pulling flies. The flies will probably be interesting for a lot of people. I do catch a lot of walleyes pulling flies in the Fox River here, the Wolf River. I actually caught some in Green Bay that one year. That was fun doing that. Okay, what else we got for questions here?
All right, I got a better one. This is something I wanted to do.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we had a video go viral again for the second time. Same video, keep in mind, of him cleaning a walleye last June.
Yep.
Okay, I wanted to give you some of that feedback and get your raw reaction. All right, first one, just scrolling on this viral comments. It's pretty funny to us. So keep in mind, like, we laugh about all this, whether it's super negative or super positive. We enjoy all of them. All right, Zach, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. And he said, the duck shirt made him smile.
Well, it's not a duck, it's a coot. It's a mud hen. How I got the nickname Coot, Coot Man, Cooter, however you want to do it. I used to hunt those back in the day, 1975. They estimated 3 million coots on Endeavor Lake, which is down by Buffalo County, Montello area. We went there opening day. They estimated, like I said, 3 million coots on this lake. And yeah, right. We get there and it's just black, full of coots. So we hunted over 10 years down there, and the limit was 15 a day. If somebody wants me to shoot me coots, I will give you shells for it. I'd rather have coot than steak any day if I could. So that's the story on the coot. But you got to remember, when I'm cleaning a walleye, this is my technique. I'm not saying it's the best. It's not the worst, because when I catch fish, I catch so many with my friends that I'm not going to sit there all day and screw with a manual knife. I'm just going to go through them. I'll save the cheeks all the time. I'll save the wings, walleye wings, in case if they're big enough, I'll do that. But just be nice to us, okay? We're just trying to give information along. So another one that kind of teased me off is Aaron did some drilling of a drill bit. And you know, well, it's backwards. Well, if you would read the captions on some of the stuff, you might be a little bit smarter and say, oh, yeah, okay, now I should have wrote what I said on there. But we've been finding out with augers, ice scooping, and drilling, it seems to be helping autistic people. They like watching these videos. It gives them like a calming or a calming effect or something. So we'll probably keep on doing it, but people still like watching that stuff. I don't get it, but we're going to give them what they want, I guess.
All right, getting back to the walleye viral video comments. This is from Scott Lowe, and he says, I'm assuming you have a mechanical reel as well.
Yeah, it's called a manual reel.
All right.
Manual reeling in.
Mark Weaver, again, I'm putting these people on blast, so you guys comment, we'll let you know. Mark Weaver, we used a sharpened spoon for the cheek meat.
Oh, that's one good way of doing it. I just make a C incision, and then I grab it and I kind of pull it with my thumb, and it pops the skin off. Then there's a little tendon, and I cut that tendon with my knife. But I'd like to see it. Hey, if you want to do a video, put that out. We'll put it out for you. I'd like to see how it's done.
All right. A lot of people were commenting about the wings, like we talked about.
Yep.
A lot of people said great video. A lot of people zipper their walleyes too. Some people, I had a gentleman come up to me in the gym, said he's never seen zippering of a walleye. So that was cool to be able to help somebody out.
And a lot of people say we're wasting meat. Well, I don't like bones in my fish. So by zippering it, we're taking out the lateral line and part of the mud line. So it makes it taste better. And with those two little pieces I got, I'll cut them up into 1-inch chunks, make walleye bites. Or if it's thick enough, I will actually bake them. I like using Hellmann's mayonnaise and also fresh grated Parmesan cheese. And you make it into a paste. You put that on top of the walleye. You can bake it or put it on the grill, and it tastes awesome. And my favorite is Cajun. Slap your mama, white pepper. It is really good on there, so give that a try.
All right, last one for this, and then we'll get back to the storyline. M. Whitman Jr. said that he knew a plastic surgeon who always cleaned his red drum using an electric knife. He had never seen that done before, and it had him wondering about his medical procedures. That's an interesting one.
Well, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a fisherman, I guess.
All right. All right. David Dudley, come down and fish Erie with you Sunday.
Yeah, I wish I could, David. I would really do. But we'll hook up.
Nick, this is a good question. Nick Tolzek said, when you say pulling flies, define that.
All right. I should have brought some, but I will do a special segment on a live again with flies. We pull flies in Oshkosh here, and they catch white bass and walleyes. It's a number 2 gold hook with certain hair, bucktails or deer hair from a tail, and they also add tinsel or flashaboo to it. When you look at this fly, it doesn't look like, why would the fish even bite this thing? But we do a 2-fly system with the kill zone, and depending on the current, a 1 or 2 ounce weight, and we actually snap, drag, drag, drag. That's a pause, then snap again. So when on that pause, you'll feel a tick, and that's when you're going to set the hook. I think my biggest walleye in Winnebago in the Fox River was probably about 7 pounds on that little bitty fly thing. So I do tip them off once in a while with leeches. The sheephead won't hit that, it seems like, and the walleyes do. But if you start putting crawlers on, you're going to catch sheephead or catfish all day long. So it's just either a bear fly or a leech.
All right, Lance McHugh, do you have a favorite recipe for walleye?
I just told him that.
There you go.
Baked walleye, Parmesan cheese, fresh grated, and also Hellmann's mayonnaise. Mix the two together. It's like a cup of each for enough walleyes. Paste that on top. Then you can bake it or grill it. And like I said, I like my Cajun slap your mama white pepper on it.
Nick asked, can you use more than one kill zone on a line?
You could probably stack them. Like I said, it could be like a mini downrigger. I would definitely, if you're going to stack them on the very bottom kill zone, I would put a diver bait. And then the upper bait or upper kill zone, I would put either like a flutter spoon or a non-diving crankbait on that one. But remember, you better have a pole that's strong enough to handle 2 nice fish.
This is pertaining to what we talked about later, but just Tyler Cartwright said, How do you feel about this mild winter and how it'll affect this year and next year's fish?
Well, Mother Nature's going to know that one. Aaron and I are kind of disappointed. We actually only got to go ice fishing twice. The first time was down in Milwaukee Harbor, where we caught some nice brown trout, had a good time with Mr. Bass. And also we went the next day to a private lake, which I've never done, which was awesome. We caught some big bluegills, crappies, northerns, bass. So that was a fun day. And then we had our sturgeon spearing. We sat for 8 days, never saw a sturgeon. The only 2 fish I saw were a perch and a lawyer. We started with 10 inches of ice. We had 9 feet of visibility, perfect for bottom, what we wanted to do. But as the days progressed, we just got bad, dirty water, so we couldn't see that much. Right.
All right. Yep. Yeah, I got a nice cold plunge out of the whole deal.
Yeah, so tell them about the effects of that, how you like that.
So a lot of people are wondering why I went in the sturgeon hole. I did not lose a bet. It was for physical health. I work and manage 2 different gyms, and I did a cold plunge. When was that? December?
Yeah.
I've been wanting to do it for a while, and if you do it for 3 minutes, it does wonders to your body. Actually, the first minute and a half, your body is basically in shock, kind of figuring out what the heck's going on. Then the last minute and a half, actually your body like all of a sudden is stimulated. It feels a lot better. And then when you come out of the water, you don't feel cold. You just feel very vibrant and warm because obviously the blood flow. That whole day, I had a ton of energy, and that following next couple of days, I felt just very refreshed. No aches and pains with all the social media stuff that I do. It helps with arthritis. So I couldn't recommend cold plunging enough. 3 minutes is ideal. You have to be submerged to about your neck to get the full effect. Obviously, you can definitely do it in a bathtub and put some ice cubes in there, but I did it because we already had a huge hole already cut out. The only issue was that it was really windy, and I knew that we had to pull the tent that day because warmer weather. So that part kind of wasn't the best, but
he doesn't know, but I'm going to buy him a water trough, and he can put it in his backyard and jump in there.
All right, so TikTok, let's go to you guys. All right, daily ice bath does wonders. Yes, they do. All right, they went to the Columbia River and had a 20-inch walleye. Nice job.
Columbia River is a good white sturgeon out there, big walleyes.
What's up from Wyoming?
Wyoming. Hello, Wyoming.
Devin Koonsman says, have you ever fished northern Wisconsin?
Oh,
Hayward, Wisconsin.
No, not Hayward. I haven't been to Hayward there.
And somebody asked what the temp was of the Fox River.
I would say it's probably in the high 30s right now. All the ice is blowing to the east shore right now that I saw. Winnebago looks wide open as far as I can see, that's for sure. Definitely a strange year. I can say that I've never seen nothing like this in my lifetime. I'm 63 years old. I remember my dad telling me a story back in the 50s. They drove out and somehow the ice broke apart and they actually had to go off to the east shore just to get their cars off. That's how big the crack opened up on them. So I remember the years too, we had to use extension on augers, which is kind of unheard of for Winnebago. If you get 24 inches or more, that's a lot of ice out there. And one year, I believe it was 80 or 81, we actually drove out on Christmas Day. That's how thick the ice got back then. I'd like to see some of those ice days. I'm thinking we're going to have to do some more traveling maybe next year for ice fishing. I like taking him along to catch these. I'm glad he caught a brown trout. I've caught one in a boat, but I've never pulled one through the ice. I got brand new rods and reels set up for that next year. Also the Pro Striker from HT. We're going to have those, using those. So look for that for next year. Hopefully we can get down there and get her done.
All right. Oh, all right. Lance McHugh, he said, when are you going to get Charlie Barons in the boat for some comedic commentary?
That would be kind of cool, but I was thinking, since I asked Facebook, I got 4 people off Facebook to sit with me in the ice shanty, which is very cool. I got to meet 4 new people, become friends with them. It was interesting to hear their take on sturgeon spearing, how they like to fish and where they like to fish. That was a great time. It actually kind of blew up on Facebook for me, which I totally surprised. So if we do have sturgeon spearing next year, and if I do have the opportunity, I'm going to try to get some celebrity, TikTok, Facebookers, that kind of stuff. Charlie Barons would be an awesome guy to have out there. Looking at Ed the Diver from Marinette, Wisconsin. He does a lot of great things for the river systems and lakes. He likes cleaning them. I'm thinking of getting a hold of Barb Carey. She runs the Women's Fish Wisconsin thing. She does a great job promoting fishing for women. Her and I are actually going to do a Lake Winnebago slip bobbering session with these girls in June, so I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, next week, Thursday, I leave for Florida for 2.5 weeks. Be down there with Keith Cavias and my aunt, Lois. She's on Englewood Beach, so we'll be shore fishing and also looking for shark's teeth. And then when I get back, I got some time to fish around here. Then April 21st, I leave for Lake Erie for 6 weeks. So you'll be seeing a lot of posts on Lake Erie.
Somebody said Aaron Rodgers for spearing.
I don't know if you'd like that or not, but.
All right. Kevin Sleeman said, when are we going walleye fishing?
Well, you just have to let me know. I'm retired, I got lots of time and no money.
Let me see your sheet. Oh. All right. So these are from the questions of the day.
Yeah.
Best ways to fish reefs from David Gaboy. David Gaboy, shout out to him. He's been a longtime follower of our page. He was one of our winners that we selected because of his loyalty. So shout out to you, David.
So fishing the reefs, it all depends on wind direction and Winnebago. You can slip bobber, you can jig it, you can troll around it, you can drift it. It just depends on the technique that you want to do. Most of the time, I'll just be trolling, hand line trolling. Sometimes I'll run boards, depending on the amount of people on a reef. Like Long Point Reef is a community hole, which has a lot of people out there. I do like slip bobbering and jigging. It's a one-on-one thing instead of just dragging cranks all around all the time. I enjoy feeling that little tick and setting a hook. Most of the time, I'll use 1/8 ounce jigs. White is a very good color, and chartreuse, or just a plain green like Aaron's shirt, green like that. It works good out there. Slip bobbers, I'll use a 1/16 or 1/8 ounce jig, or if I just go to a plain red hook, that would be a number 2, and some split shots also on that. I try to set it about 2 to 3 inches off bottom because I incorporate the wave action. So I want that bait to hit the bottom, bounce up in that. That's how I do my slip bobbering. So I guess like all I got.
Kevin M said the best lures for water clarity.
Oh, that's a loaded question. It all depends on where you are and what you're fishing for. When we have clear water in Winnebago here, I'll try to run 8 different lures when I start out. One side will be like a rattling wasp number 4. The other side will be like flicker shads or flicker minnows. And depending on the colors, it might range from really bright stuff to dark stuff. To me, the fish are going to dictate how they're going to bite. So that's how I start out my trolling pattern to figure this out as fast as I can. And I just go from there. Good question.
Wish they made 80 ounces like they used to in the day. I'd have my limit in an hour.
So you're a stun fisherman.
All right. Mike Williams. Properly netting a fish.
All right. This is a tough one. When I bring people in my boat and I'm showing them how to net a fish, I always want to net the fish on the side of the boat. Never put your fish in the back of the boat, because when you're bringing this fish up from the back, there's a lot of current from you trolling from the motor, and it's always wishy-washy and all that kind of stuff. And a safety reason I don't do it is that that fish spits that hook, and that lure comes flying out. It's either going to hit me, the netter, or someone in back of us. They've had that happen. And that's another thing I want to talk about the kill zone too. The kill zone, I do not use any bottom bouncers anymore. That's all I use is kill zone with pencil sinkers. I've seen and heard horror stories of bottom bouncers coming on, or the fish comes undone and that thing just comes whipping out. If you ain't got safety glasses on or a hat on, you could get very severely hurt by that. But so when I net the fish on the side, I'm an eagle slider guy too, deep rubber net. I don't like mesh nets because they have a ribbon on the bottom of it, and the hooks always find that. So I use the Eagle slider too, and I try to net the head. As soon as I get that head in there, I want the people to drop the rod. Less pressure, because then I can scoop that fish up, then the magnet does the rest of the work.
Good question, Mike Williams. All right, Mike Bartell, Erie Trolling Baits.
Mikey B, he's going to be out there with us this year, and we're going to be fishing with Lance Valentine. He invited me and my crew to come up to Detroit River. We are going to learn how to Detroit River jig. He's using 3/4 to 1 ounce jigs. He has a special jig that he designed and made. And I hope to have a good day with him, because it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of jigging. So, and the guys I'm taking that day are jiggers. Excuse me. It'll be fun jigging instead of trolling, I guess, for them.
Sorry, Scott. I'm not sure why you're having trouble hearing us. There's no extras. We're trying our best.
Talk as loud as we can.
Sorry about that. All right. Let's go into, let me scroll a little bit and look at any other questions you guys got tonight. Thursday, fun day. Love the hats. Thank you.
So this weekend in Fond du Lac, I'll be down at the fairgrounds. They have a sportsman's kind of rummage sale, but there's other better, good stuff instead of rummage sale. But excuse me. Oh, this damn throat cold. 8 o'clock it starts, and I think it goes to like 4. So I'll be walking around there. I'll probably be at the River House booth talking to Donnie. I want to thank Donnie for letting me use his melting pot for lead this week, because I can't find it. I don't know where the hell it went, but whatever. Also want to thank all the followers. We're at 162,000 followers on Facebook. Thank you so much. We're trying to give you the best information, fun stuff, and travels, Coot's Adventures, all like Coot's Kitchen. And I was down in Madison last week for a sports show. Did very well down there with Mikey Schultz, selling kill zones and Coot's Lures products. So check us out.
Talk a little bit about your Fox River adventures with Doc's Custom.
Oh, okay, yeah. Last week, Thursday, Bob Klaus. Yep, Fin Fanatics invited me to go fishing, and also asked Doc Custom Paints come along, which is Nick Ackley. Both are in the Sheboygan Walleye Club that I belong to. We had a good day up there, and they were kind of kicking my butt for a while. First fish I caught was a big-ass flathead catfish. But by the end of the day, I caught all 3, the most walleyes. I had 3. Bob didn't catch one, but I told Bob, I says, I let all my paying customers catch the fish, so don't worry about it, Bob.
All right. Nick Tolzek said, how often do you do these live presentations?
Well, we're just getting into it right now. So what we're trying to do is build our minutes on YouTube. I think we got to have, 60,000 minutes?
That's Facebook.
Oh, Facebook. But we're just trying to build a library of all this stuff so you can go back and look at it. My phone is on my Facebook, so if you ever want to call or talk or ask me a question, you're more than free to do so. I'm not one of these guys that's not going to answer you or nothing like that. I try to answer all questions as fast as I can. Normally, it's been getting to half an hour to 45 minutes every morning looking at my phone to see if I have any orders or questions or comments. I try to respond to everybody that I can to help them out.
So just a heads up, I don't do the replying if you direct message the page. He is.
Yep.
I'm doing the posting. He's taking care of the questions. All right, Justin Miller, HT guy from Tactical Angler. Please follow his page. He wanted to know, when pulling flies, do you just let the current do the work and stay hands-free until a bite, or are you pulling the flies back and forth and give it some action?
Okay, so when I'm in the river doing this type of trolling, I have my 8-foot telescopic rod set up with the kill zone, and I'll have a slow death hook on there. That's stationary. That's into my rod roller. That's my dead stick. In my other hand, I don't need to show, but in my other hand is a spin rod that I have a 2-fly set up with the kill zone. So I'm actually pumping this rod back and forth. And also I don't go straight into the current. I tack the current. I go back and forth like this, sideways. It seems like I catch the fish at a better angle, and they're actually chasing that bait then for me. Good question.
Talk about right here, this triangular foregrip, if they can see.
Right here.
I don't know if they'll be able to
so
see.
This actually conforms right to your hand. I think this is what one of my biggest selling feature is on my trolling rods. I actually shortened the butt up by 3 inches. I put 2 metal reel guides on here to hold your reel stronger. And this is what you want in a trolling rod. You want this to thread forward. Every time they put the threads up here, and you're always torquing and loosening it up. You don't want that. Plus, I have no triggers on these. So these are going to slip out of your rod holders very comfortably, and also have the hook saver here to hook on a bait there. I use all Dial 27s, or now they're called 20s, line counters. I've been using them for about 30 years, so I guess I'm a Daiwa guy. I like using them, and they work very well for me.
So what sizes do you have for your trolling rods?
Trolling rod. Well, I just figured out what I brought 1,300 rods in December. I have 7-foot medium, 7-foot medium light. I have 8-foot telescopic and 8'6" telescopic. Out of 1,300 rods, my 8'6" telescopics, I only have 15 left. Out of my 8-footers, I have 34 left, but I have a lot more of my 7-foot and 7-foot medium lights left. So I've sold over 550 rods since December. People have found out about my rods. They love them. I got 5 charter captains now in Lake to be using them this summer. So Critters just bought a bunch of them. Smokies on the Bay in Green Bay has a bunch of them. The Sportsman in Appleton has a bunch. The Real Shot in Appleton has a bunch. They're going to be hopefully next week getting some 7-footers from me. I have the Bait Box down in Iowa. They sell my rods. Lake Erie, we have Erie Outfitters. Craig, he just got some 7-footers. So if you want some of my rods, those are some of the stores that carry them. And I hate to say this, but the way it's going right now, I might be out of rods by June already. And that's pretty impressive with 1,300 rods. So saying 1,300 rods, I've sold over 3,400 rods in 4 years. So I guess I'm doing something right.
Back to the Facebook chat, Roy Jones said he's from Indiana. Thanks for tuning in. James Cooper, new follower from Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Nice.
He said, checking in, cheers. All right, I'm going to address this comment from Anthony Richter. How much time do you spend on social media instead of fishing on the water? Well, seeing as that you comment on all of our videos, you're not doing any fishing yourself, sir.
Yeah, but he's at the Garage Gourmet. He is the main man of smoking stuff meat on the grill. Yeah, you know,
I'd like to get over for the Garage Gourmet.
Yes, we'll have to do that some night with you over there.
You guys check out the Garage Gourmet on Facebook. Phenomenal food that looks very tasty from afar. Roy Jones, have you ever ice fished Indiana?
No, never ice fished that one.
Do they get ice?
Yeah. That's a good one. This year they brought you. Jeez.
Get some water.
I guess so. I heard Indiana only had 2 weeks of ice fishing down there. That was it.
If you're just tuning in on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, comment below where you're from. Ask us some questions. Let's talk a little bit about. Let me pull up.
Do we have any more questions on that paper, I wonder?
No. All that.
Okay. Well, like I say, we all appreciate you guys following us. And if we can give you some humor, some tips, some tricks, all that kind of stuff, please comment. Please leave questions, that kind of stuff.
Oh, who is a good guide to go with for salmon fishing on Lake Michigan?
Well, I got Bills and Gill, Jim Klein. He does a very good job. We helped him out this last year. We caught some nice fish. We actually had to watch him puke. We had a bad day of him in the waves, but we caught a lot of fish. Let's see, who else? Barb Carey. She's also a captain. She's getting hopefully a big boat tomorrow. She's going down to Indiana to look at it, and she likes it. She's going to buy it. So you can check her out. Let's see, who do we got? Plain Hooky over there is still there. Sea Dog is a good one also. I think that's all I can think of right now in Sheboygan there. Go to the wharf. They do a great job of cleaning your fish and that kind of stuff. Jeff, yep, does a good job there. So, and also he's got my magnetos there.
All right. How did you like the Nordic Legend ice shelter that we were sturgeon spearing in?
That thing's going to put us on the map. That is an awesome tent. I think it retails for like $700, and that thing is massive. It's 8 feet by 12 feet. As you can see, if you saw us in this with the sturgeon hole, the biggest sturgeon hole you can make is 48 square feet. I figure I had about 40 square feet there. It was like looking at a big screen TV down there in the water. It held up very well. That was a good thing. We had a night of wet snow. It did collapse the roof in, but nothing broke. So I scooped all the snow and I pushed it back up. It worked great. And the last 2 days of our spearing, we had a lot of wind. And that's where I used rope, put down a 1x4 piece of wood into the, I drilled a hole, stuck that in there with the rope, and I cinched up all 6 points on that tent where they have the little loops outside, and no tears, no rips or nothing like that. So I can say that is a very good tent for the money. So if you're looking at that, and we did get a secret one in the mail today, you know.
Yeah, we can't talk about that.
Can't talk about it, but it's from Nordic Legends.
Top secret. We have the first look at a Nordic Legend something. I won't say what.
Right.
But they sent us it in the mail.
So maybe Saturday we'll put that up and see what it looks like.
And I can't post anything about it, unfortunately.
Yep.
All right.
Stay tuned for that one.
All right. He also has an ice fishing invention that's still not out there, but we won't talk about that one either.
Yeah. Hopefully this December.
Lake Times Lures. How is pan fishing on Winnebago? Tough or easy?
I would say tough until you find them. Like, of course, if anybody finds their fish, you're going to catch a lot of them. We do have some nice perch population out there. I'm not a bluegill guy, but I love eating bluegills. Some guys I know on this lake system know where to go to get those bluegills, and they get some dandy ones out there. So same with crappies. They'll kind of be mixed in with the walleyes once in a while, and white bass out in the main basin of the lake. Lake Winnebago is 11 miles wide, 30 miles long. The deepest part is 21 feet on the main basin out there. In the river, we have one spot that's about 35 feet of water. It's actually fed by two rivers. One is the Wolf and one is the Fox. And actually, from Lake Winnebago, it drains north. That's one of two rivers in this northern hemisphere. From Menasha Dam all the way to Green Bay is a 168-foot drop. And I want it. There's also one spot in there that's totally landlocked, so we have no invasive species coming up to it. We hope we don't have that opened up. They're talking about doing this thing. I don't know. It wouldn't be good. So,
let's see.
Questions?
We got a couple people from Minnesota. Land of Skull, northern Minnesota. People were commenting where they're from. All right.
Need more water.
I guess what is on the agenda for schedule-wise? Florida, Erie, and then what events are you doing this summer?
When I get back June 1st, we'll be doing something with Barb Carey in June with slip bobbering with the Wisconsin Women's Fish Club. Hopefully Aaron and I will, you got to sign up for the Sheboygan Walleye Club yet. You got a club tournament in Winnebago in June. Then in July, I got a couple kids tournaments, a couple veterans tournaments. Our Sheboygan Walleye Club hosts a battle on the bay in August. If you guys want to get it and win about $8,000 for one day of fishing, it's pretty awesome on the Bay of Green Bay out of Oconto. The people in Oconto do a hell of a job for our club to make this fly up there. Also, what was I see?
Josie's Gifts.
Yep, Josie's Gifts is one of them.
Tomorrow's Anglers. That's all in July. Military.
Yep, in August, that'll be up in Oconto, that one. September is kind of a laid-back month for me. I get a lot of stuff done around the house since I've been fishing all, May, June, July, and August. So
Logan asked, ask Hermie about the Big Dipper story next time you see him.
The Big Dipper story.
All right, we can do that.
Yep.
Do you remember the Great Snow Squall of 2022
Yep.
On Battle on Bago?
Yep.
His ATV was, Okay.
So, yeah, Aaron and I were in that squall. I said, we got to leave now because we can get in and be okay. To help people refresh their memories, if you're in a situation, before you even get on the lake, make sure your truck or car has got full of gas. Make sure you have like a flashlight, a blanket, a cell phone. Let people know where you're going to be, because these snow squalls can happen, and it did happen. And a lot of people freaked out and they started heading towards shore. Well, they couldn't make out the shore because the lights on the bridges were blending in with the shoreline, and they were actually driving into the cracks. If they would have stayed out on the lake, that snow squall would have been done in 2 hours. It's just a quick, brief northeaster thing, that happens. But just try to remind yourself if you do come again here for Battle on Bago, make sure you try to do all the safety things before you get out there. Ask questions at the bait stores. They can help you with that kind of stuff. Talk to some of the locals. My phone line's always open if I can help with someone out, that kind of stuff. So just be safety conscious out there.
All right. Your new friend, Caleb Praiser from Sturgeon Spearing, said, what depth of water do you prefer on Bago?
Well, it all depends if you're trolling or on the reefs. Most of the time, last year, I'd say the best trolling in the mud, I call mud, it's thick, was like 12 to 14 feet of water. We were pulling rattling wasp, and we were pulling number 5 flicker minnows. That worked out very well for us. Had a good time with Caleb. He's out of, I forgot where you lived already. He's a volunteer firefighter, and he also works for a landscaping company down there. So we had a good time on the lake. I hope you did too, Caleb.
Near Waupun, I thought, somewhere. All right, we got. All right. Well, I think.
How much time we elapsed here now?
We're at 56 minutes.
Ooh.
Let's go right to an hour. Let's get an hour.
Oh, that's what I wanted to mention. Tomorrow I will be going live at 10 o'clock at Lake Air. And it
Nicole
is
Blank.
Nicole Blank. She owns a coffee shop there. And we're going to talk about some sturgeon spearing. She is a harpoon girl. She uses one tine. So we're going to have a little insight on her sturgeon spearing. She has gotten 6 in her lifetime already. And I am really interested in seeing this harpoon that she uses, because mine has 5 tines. It's like throwing a pitchfork. So we're going to get a good story there at 10 o'clock. So we'll be on live Facebook again at 10 o'clock tomorrow. So look for that half hour.
Nick Ackley is tuning in. He said, Coot, he's late to the party. How's it going?
Good, Nick.
We already gave you a shout out at around 20 minutes.
So did you get my little package yet, Nick?
We talked about Doc's Customs. If you're just tuning in, Nick Ackley.
Yep, he's out of Sheboygan. He paints all kinds of stuff. He paints spinner blades, flutter spoons, crankbaits, dodgers, flashers, all that kind of good stuff. So if you need something custom painted, he's your man to do it.
Roy Jones from Indiana again. He said it's one of his dreams to go spearing. If it happens.
Well, you get 6 hours, and I always tell everybody it's like duck hunting through a chimney. Or tonight, go into your closet, turn off the lights, shut the door, and sit there for 6 hours. That's what it's like. It's not like deer hunting. You don't see birds and bees flying around out there.
On TikTok, gentlemen ask, can you use a bow set up for sturgeon spearing?
No, it has to be a hand-thrown spear.
Brett, the hunter and fisherman, it's a nice username, says, hi, Coot.
Hello.
Nick said, thanks. Yes, sir. I have a box of goodies from you.
Woohoo! Nick's going to be painting some special lures for me, so check these out in the next week here. We'll see how fast he gets them done. He's a busy person.
If you guys see our shirts, these are the 2 different styles of clothing we also have.
And we just ordered a bunch now, too. So we got almost 100 shirts coming. So this is a short sleeve white ice, we call it, that Aaron designed both of these. And we also have the normal Coot. Mm-hmm. And every one of them has the Let's Go Fishing red, white, and blue hooks on the back. So those will be in about 6 to 8 weeks. So if you go on our website, you'll see what sizes we have left. And if you want to order it, we'll mail it out to you as soon as we can.
Shady Rays, that's another
sunglasses
sunglass sponsor.
Yep.
So we use them.
they're great because I need bifocals, and they got bifocals of 2 power. It's great when I got to tie knots and all that. Oh, one guy asked what kind of knots I tie. I do the trilene knot. That's one I use all the time.
All right. Well, all right. We are at 1 hour. We went live on TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. So if you like a platform better than others, tune into that one. Is being on with us. We have a lot of fun doing this, and we thank all you guys. All right.
Thank you for all your comments and questions. So let's go fishing. Well, that went very well.
All right. Oh. Let's see.